Here's a question that separates the 1% from the mediocre. What is the actual dollar value of adding 5 high-performing years to your life? No, not 5 years in a nursing home, 5 years where you're still closing deals at 70, still dominating the gym at 68, and you're still sharp enough to manage your portfolio without your kids questioning your cognitive function. Because right now, while you're watching this, your telomeres are shortening, your pineal gland is calcifying, and your circadian biology is degrading at a cellular level. But there's a peptide that Wall Street traders and Silicon Valley executives are using to literally intervene at the genetic level. And most of you will ignore this information because it requires you to confront an uncomfortable truth about how badly you've been managing your biological assets.
Telomeres are unique structures of proteins and
Revolutionary approach to living younger that can shorten them early in life.
Telomeres are the ends of the chromosome. They get shorter as we get older.
Already heard a lecture about telomeres.
Secret lies in something called telomere.
Telomeres are the very tips of our chromosomes.
Preserve their telomere length by about 3 years.
I'm Seth Green, founder of the Capital Performance Solution. For the past 11 years, I've worked exclusively with high-earning executives and financial professionals who understand one fundamental thing: that your body is your highest value asset, and it deserves the same strategic optimization that you give your portfolio. I don't work with people looking for beach body transformations or a half-assed home workout. I work with individuals making $250K or more who annually recognize that mediocre health creates mediocre returns, both in business and in life. Today, we're breaking down Epithalon, a tetrapeptide that's becoming the secret weapon for executives who refuse to accept biological decline and as the inevitable. And more importantly, I'm going to show you why this peptide is worthless without the genetic and hormonal framework we've built at the Capital Performance Solution. Because here's what nobody tells you: peptides without precision are just expensive placebos. And that's the ignorance that is costing you years of peak performance. Let's talk about the problem that nobody wants to acknowledge. You're a high performer. You've built wealth, you've created success. But somewhere around 40 years old, maybe 45 or 50, you've noticed something changing in the 3 main problems that have creeped into your life. Number 1, you have a sleep problem. You cannot sleep like you used to. You're waking up at 3 a.m., mind racing about markets, about your business, about deals that you need to close. You used to sleep 6 hours and wake up sharp. Now you get 7 and you wake up foggy. Your recovery is deteriorating and you know it. Number 2, your cognitive decline. That mental sharpness that you had when you were wealthy, it's not what it was. You're forgetting names. You're taking longer to process complex information. You tell yourself deep down it's just stress, but deep down you know it's your biology degrading. And number 3, the energy collapse. You need 2 cups of coffee to function by 10 a.m. The idea of a workout after work feels nearly impossible. Your libido isn't just lower, it's inconvenient to your lifestyle. And you're running on fumes and everybody can see it except you. Here's the reality that stings. You've optimized every other asset that you own, your portfolio, your business, your real estate, but you're running your biology like it's a neglected Section 8 property. This is where most guys make that fatal error. They go looking for quick fixes. They buy some peptides from the research chemical sites, pin it randomly, and wonder why nothing changes. They get on TRT without understanding their genetic methylation pathways. They take melatonin like it's candy, completely ignorant to their pineal gland function. They optimize for symptoms instead of systems, or they just hire a nutritionist or a TRT doctor that fail to address the entire picture, just slapping band-aids on the problem that currently exists. And that's why you're still struggling, because Epithalon isn't a magic bullet. It's a precision tool that only works when integrated in a comprehensive genetic and hormonal framework. Dr. Andrew Huberman from Stanford, one of the leading neuroscientists in the world, has discussed how the pineal gland and circadian biology are foundational to everything from sleep quality to hormonal regulation to longevity itself.
Descartes, right, the philosopher Descartes, asserted that the pineal was the seat of the soul because it was the one structure in the brain that he saw was not on both sides of the brain. It was only one of them and in the middle.
So let me ask you this. Would you invest $500K into a business without analyzing the market data? Would you buy real estate without understanding any of the fundamentals? The answer is fuck no. Then why the hell are you throwing peptides and hormones into your body without understanding your genetic blueprint? This is the cost of ignorance. Every year you delay proper optimization is a year of lost cognitive performance, degraded sleep architecture, shortened telomeres, and biological aging that you can't reverse. Now, what is a telomere? Think of these like the plastic caps on your shoelaces. They protect the ends of your DNA. Every time your cells make copies, which happens constantly, those caps get shorter. When they get too short, your cells stop working and they die. That's aging. The shorter your telomere telomeres, the older your body really is. And right now, yours are getting shorter. This is why the middle class approach to longevity leaves the average factory dad looking and feeling his age. And why the majority of investment bankers working long hours always seem to have those bags under their eyes with an air of calamity around them. They ignore or are completely unaware of the elite approach to use precision medicine based on 30x whole genome sequencing and individualized hormonal optimization. Which camp are you in? And this is where it gets real. Most of you watching right now are already losing the battle of aging. You've been planning to fix your health for years, but you have good plans. You have saved articles on peptides. Maybe even you bought some vitamins, but planning without action is just lying to yourself and living in complacency. And every day you wait, this gets worse and compounds in 3 ways. 1, your telomeres get shorter. Epithalon is one of the only peptides that might actually make telomerase work. And that's the thing that can actually make your telomeres longer, but you're not using it. You're just getting older. Huberman himself explains how telomere length shows your real biological age and when your cells stop working right, which is the root cause for aging and disease.
Aging, longevity, lifespan, actionable protocols to increase how long we live, etc.
Your sleep gland is turning to stone. There's a tiny gland in your brain that controls your entire sleep schedule and melatonin. It's hardening from fluoride, chemicals in the environment, and from your stress. Your sleep is getting worse because your sleep gland is literally turning hard. Epithalon is one of the few breakthroughs that might be able to reverse this and fix your pineal gland, your sleep gland. But then again, you're not using it properly based on your DNA. Your body's repair system is just failing. Every night when you sleep, your body should be fixing these things, repairing your DNA, cleaning out waste, balancing your hormones. But your sleep fucking sucks. So your recovery sucks. So your performance sucks. This leads to those telomeres literally melting off faster and aging you more quickly. This is a death spiral. And here's the brutal truth. The executives I work with don't have better genes than you. They just have better information and they have a protocol to do something with it. They know that Epithalon works together with their hormone plan. They know which gene variants affect how their body handles this process. They've tested their genes to know their sleep pattern, while you're guessing they're doing it correctly. And the difference? That's why they're running at 85% of their age 25 power while they are age 55, while the other guys are falling apart at age 40. This isn't just about looking good. This is about keeping your body that makes you money and retains you status. A doctor making $600K a year that has a heart attack at 54 doesn't just lose his health, he loses his entire money machine. A finance guy that gets dementia at 62 doesn't just retire early, he loses years of making top dollar. They both lose the ability to enjoy their fortunes in their retirement. Your health isn't a side project, this is the foundation. And right now, your foundation is falling apart faster than you're fixing it. So here's the answer. It's not what you think. Epithalon is made of 4 amino acids: alanine, glutamic acid, asparagic acid, and glycine. And here's what the research says that Epithalon can do. 1, it can turn on the telomerase enzyme. This is what makes your telomeres longer and slows down the aging of your cells. Number 2, it fixes your pineal gland, that one that helps you sleep. This is the one that your body uses to produce melanin, and it fixes your sleep schedule. And like Huberman says, proper sleep rhythm isn't just about sleep. It controls every other hormone in your body and makes sure that they work at the right time in sync throughout the day. And number 3, they can make your sleep better. You get more REM sleep and deep sleep. This is where your body actually recovers. Huberman talks about this all the time, about how growth hormone, testosterone, and brain repair all happen while you have deep sleep. This is also the process that spurs muscle growth and recovery. Number 4, it helps balance your hormones, and this helps your whole hormonal system work properly. Number 5, it stops cell damage. This protects your cells from damage that accelerates your aging. So what's your protocol? Most people will use this for 10 to 20 days, twice a year. 5 to 10 milligrams injected under the skin is the proper dosing. But here's what everybody misses. You can follow that dosing schedule, sure, but how well this miracle peptide works depends on your gene variants. So your MTNR1A and B genes determine how sensitive you are to melatonin. Your COMT variants, they control how your body processes chemicals that affect your sleep. And your PR1, 2, and 3 genes control how your body clock works. And lastly, the one thing that people do generally test, but not well, is your methylation pathway. And lastly, the celebrity test. You've seen some of these. Grant Cardone and Stephen A. Smith have ran this one. But your methylation pathways, which is how well you process and use peptides. This is exactly what Huberman means when he talks about bio-individuality. What works for one person might not work for you, and it might even hurt another person because of your genetic differences. If you're unsure how this process works and how it matches your genomic profile, then I built a quick reference guide for you. So click the link down below in the description to access my ebook Decoded, which is where I give you an in-depth overview of how these systems all play together, complete with a glossary of every important gene you need to be looking at in your optimization journey. From accelerated fat loss to reverse aging, these frameworks will set you up looking and feeling like the top 1% and becoming the genetic weapon that all the TRT dads in the gym aspire to be. This is the anti-destitute Denny approach that looks at the entire picture instead of just one part of the wealthy body formula. And this is why at the Capital Performance Solution, we start with 30x whole genome sequencing. We're not guessing. We're reading your exact genetic map from day one to know how your body will respond to Epithalon specifically, what hormone optimization you need with it, which sleep supplements will actually work for your genetic code, and how to implement all of this into a custom protocol to reverse engineer success with data, not feelings. Because here's what happens when you do this right. Your deep sleep goes up by 30 to 40%, which means a real recovery and your brain gets sharp again. You process complex stuff quickly again, and your energy stays stable. No more 3 p.m. crashes or relying on that third cup of coffee to finish your day. Your hormone optimization protocol actually works because it matches your genes. You add at least 5 high-performing peak earning years to your career instead of being phased out into retirement by your younger and sharper peers. My clients are closing deals at 65 with the sharpness they had at 40. They're working out 4 times a week at age 58. They're sexually active, mentally sharp, and biologically younger than the other guys their age. And it's not because they're lucky, it's because they're precise and they've taken the oath to make their body match their bank account. So here's where we separate the curious from the serious. If you're the type of person that wants to screenshot this video and try to DIY it yourself, then go ahead. You're gonna waste your money on sketchy peptide sites, dose them incorrectly for your genetics, and get mediocre results. Then you'll convince yourself that peptides didn't work, when in reality, you tried to play small. You were a dividend douchebag. But if you're a high-earning executive or a finance professional who understands that precision medicine requires expertise, genetic data, and pharmaceutical-grade compounds, then head over to the pinned comment and let's book a call. We'll build you your protocol. And if you know this is exactly what you want, and you want to expedite this process, then DM me the word solution on Instagram and my bot will take you right into onboarding immediately. But just remember, I work with 50 clients maximum. That's because my quality optimization requires my direct supervision. And I refuse to dilute results from my high quality clients that make at least 150K take home profit from scaling beyond my capacity to deliver excellence or watering down my roster. So as a fair warning, I may decline you. I decline most applicants. 66% to be precise. So if you're price sensitive, you're looking for a quick fix, or you're not willing to execute with discipline, I'm not interested in working with you. But if you're a high performer, you recognize that your body and your time are your most valuable assets, and you want precision optimization from somebody who has worked tirelessly, perfecting this exact system, then click the link. Let's see if you're a fit. So here's the final thought I'll leave you with. The executives who dominate in their 50s, their 60s, and their 70s aren't lucky. They're not genetically superior. They've just made a decision that you're still trying to avoid, to optimize their biology with the same intensity they optimize their business with. Epithalon is a tool. Genetics are your blueprint. Hormones are your foundation. Together, when done with precision, they create a biological advantage that most people will never experience. This is where you become a genetic weapon. But as Huberman would say, the best protocols are the ones you can actually implement with consistency and precision based on your individual biology. So the question is, are you going to be like most people? Or are you ready to perform at a level that makes your peers question what the hell you're doing to both out leverage and outperform them? Links in the description. Let's find out.